Hey everyone, it's Robert Watson here coming at you with a zero package mail day, whopping zero. Just wanted to make a quick video, actually it might not be quick, I don't know, about my Harry Potter Wizard cards. Now these are the cards that you get from the Chocolate Frogs at the Harry Potter Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Orlando, Florida, or the Harry Potter Studio Tour in Leavesden, England. So I just wanted to go over the cards that I have. Some of the cards I actually have are misprinted, so I actually want to mention those. I'm going to save the best misprint of mine for last. But first off, I just wanted to show off the cards. So my Godric Gryffindor here doesn't seem to be anything misprinted on him. Sorry for it being hard to see the 3D, but it's pretty cool that he moves there. And then on the back here it says, Godric Gryffindor, one of the four famous founders of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Godric Gryffindor was the most accomplished dueler of his time, and an enlightened fighter against Muggle discrimination, and the first owner of the celebrated Sorting Hat. So, let me just 1 second. Okay, so yeah, nothing wrong with this card particularly. I only have one of it, so I can't really compare it to the other cards, but as far as I know, there's no mistakes. If somebody does have a Godric Gryffindor card that they're able/willing to trade, and they're looking for a Rowan or Ravenclaw, I have 4 Ravenclaw. I know, I am Ravenclaw, but I don't need that many. No offense, Ravenclaw. I love you. I'm part of your house. But anyways, next we have the Ravenclaw cards. Now, for the most part, there is nothing different between my 4 cards at the front. Now, that being said, there's a couple of these cards that show off the picture better than the others. That's just because, I guess the layering or way that they printed it. But yeah, for the most part, they're all basically the exact same. This is one of the ones that really shows off the picture well. It's a nice card. Then when we flip them over, there is a clear difference in one of the cards. In that, it's probably going to be very actually hard to see as far as this camera, but there's a very subtle difference in the color of these. Obviously the printer had run out or something, or was getting weaker when they printed these, because there's the top one, which is a little bit more blue, and then there's the bottom one, which is sort of a purplish blue. There's no problem otherwise. The cards are still the exact same. There's nothing wrong with the cards. They're just a little bit misprinted, or a little bit discolored, and that's fine with me. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Nothing really super special, just as the Godric Gryffindor card. Oh, I forgot to read the back of the card. Rowan or Ravenclaw, medieval, precise dates unknown. One of the 4 famous founders of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Rowan or Ravenclaw was the most brilliant witch of her time. So legend has it, a broken heart, cause unknown, contributed to her early demise. We all know the actual cause of her death, because it was Godric Gryffindor rejecting her, and she got all PO'd, and killed herself. Basically. Now, the next one is actually a fairly big mistake. It's on the Helga Hufflepuff cards. I have 2 of them, and as you can see right off the bat, they are very discolored. They're colored from each other. So the generic cards, for the most part, are this color here, whereas this one is very purple compared to the others. So let's see here, compare them. You have the bluish card and you have the very, very purple card. This card is, as far as thickness, the same thickness. I think it's just probably running out of ink, And if you look at it, it's a little bit off-center. It seems to, at the top here, have more of a gap over here than it does over here. That could just be me. I don't know. On the back, no real difference, just as, there's no real difference as far as that. It says on the back here in the flavor text, Helga Hufflepuff, medieval, precise dates unknown. One of the four celebrated founders of Hogwarts, Hufflepuff was particularly famous for her dexterity at food-related charms. Many recipes traditionally served at Hogwarts feasts still originated with Hufflepuff. So that's pretty cool. Very interesting. Yeah, so no real mistakes there. So just the coloring on the card, yeah. So now we move on to the final and the big mistake card that I have from the collection. I'll show it to you right here. I mean, right off the bat, you can see it. Or you can see part of it. This card has a very dark blue background, and this card has a very bright blue/purple background. Now, I don't know, I guess this was probably from a very early print run. It's actually even a thinner card. Like, I can do this much easier. Like, watch here. I can bend it very easy, whereas this one takes a little bit of actual effort to bend. If you look at the pictures, the picture on this one's actually a lot clearer because it is such a bright card. Whereas this one is darker and, it gets the more red skin tone, whereas this gets the sort of a yellowish tinge to it. And that, believe it or not, that is not the only mistake on this card. When you flip the normal card around, it says, Salazar Slytherin, medieval, precise dates unknown, one of the four celebrated founders of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Salazar Slytherin was one of the first recorded Parselmouse, an accomplished legilimens, and notorious champion of pureblood supremacy. So, that's very cool. You're thinking, what's the mistake there? Well, if you look at the flimsier card, which is obviously from an earlier print run, probably, just clearly, well, right here, right off the bat, you have navy blue background for this, here, and then a bright blue background. Also, on this, if you read right here, it says Salazar Slytherin, as opposed to Salazar, so that's a clear misprint. Now, I didn't fake this card. I don't have the technology to print a 3D card out. This is actually just what came out of my chocolate frog box. And I didn't actually notice the mistake until when I was moving down here and I was resetting up my chocolate frog case over there. And I noticed, as I was reading it, I was like, oh my gosh, there's a mistake there, and I thought it was awesome. So I'm very glad to actually have it in my collection because, Harry Potter mistaken materials, that's just awesome in my opinion. It just adds to the collectability. I don't know how many more of these are actually out there in this world, so if you have one, or if you have just any of the wizard cards, check them. Make sure that, they're spelt properly, make sure that there's, no mistakes, because, you could be in possession of a fairly rare wizard card. But yeah, just look at the two cards here. They're very different as far as the brightness and as far as the coloring on them. And look up here, you can see pretty much all the stars that are on the card, even though some of them are supposed to be like twinkling in the background. Whereas on this one, you can barely see any of them. You can only see them when they're actually doing the twinkling. So it's a very cool card. And then you got this one that's just all of them there. They switch spots occasionally, but that's it. So that's a really cool thing. So I just wanted to show you all my cards. And as I said, if you have a Godric Gryffindor and are willing to trade, just send me a message and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I would like to have a second Godric Gryffindor for my set. I will probably, if I can't find someone to trade with, I will just get another Chocolate Frog while I'm in England and hope that it's Godric Gryffindor and pray to God it's not Rowan or Ravenclaw. No offense, Ravenclaw. But yeah, so those are my cards, and I hope you all have a good night. I will probably see you tomorrow, but for now I am going to go to bed. For those of you wondering, I have not completed my Harry Potter collection videos. I thought I had, but there's still a whole bunch of more stuff somewhere that I just haven't gotten to. I remembered it the other day. So I'm going to compile it all together and show you all at once. And that'll be good. So I'm going to go to bed now, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.